been a while, hasn't it? Man, I feel kind of weird sitting in front of the camera now. Hey everybody on YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Rachel, the Student Witch. I hope you're having a lovely day. It is a beautiful day here in Georgia, although later it's supposed to get rainy. It's like springtime in Georgia is this combination of like constant cloudiness and rain and increased humidity, but also just pollen everywhere. Like your car is covered in this fine green dust of pollen, and it's just like impossible to clean off until the trees are done fucking, because the trees have to fuck now. And oh, the pine pollen. Anyway, welcome to a super rambly update kind of video. I'm going to try to include in the title of this video some key words just to give some sense of organizedness, some organization to this video. But so life is kind of catching up with me, and I've realized that even though in my handy dandy cheap $1 composition notebook where I write down a schedule of all the videos that I want to put out there in the coming months, I'm realizing that I don't have time for all of that. So I'm using this video to kind of organize things, and just so that you guys know what you can expect from me in the coming 4 or 5 months and what's going on in my life, and also some news, some big news mainly, and as you can see from the title of this video, a giveaway. So I'll get into talking about that here soon. But yeah, this is going to be kind of like a rambly update video, and it's also been a while since I've put up a video, and this is going to be an opportunity for me to kind of explain what's going on in my life. So I will include this in the Witching Abroad series, in that playlist that I started on my channel. I'll include a link to it up here in the cards, but also in the description box below, because as many of you know, if you follow me on social media, on mainly my Instagram and my YouTube channel here, my website and my Facebook, StudentWitch Facebook page have kind of fallen by the wayside, and I'll get into that here in a second. But if you follow me, you know that I'm in the process of preparing to move abroad. My partner and I are moving to his home country, which is Chile. And in that playlist that I linked up here and below, you'll see kind of longer descriptions of why that's happening and everything. But basically, we bought, a few weeks ago in March, we bought our plane tickets to leave the United States and move to Chile, and we're going to be living there in Santiago for about 2 or 3 years. And preparing for that is kind of crazy, because on my end, I'm not only preparing to move abroad, which is huge in and of itself, but I'm also preparing basically 2 conference papers, because right before we leave Georgia at the end of May, I'm flying up to Boston to go to a huge conference, academic conference. It's like the biggest one in my field, and I'm presenting at the conference, but I'm also participating in a workshop on like Dominican studies, because I do US Latinx and like Latin American studies. I study like transnational feminism and migration and race and ethnicity and the history of colonialism in the new world and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, I'm going to this huge ass conference in Boston. I'm presenting at the conference, but I'm also participating in this workshop, which is the day before the conference officially starts. And for that workshop, I'm workshopping like a short version of my first chapter of my dissertation. But I haven't written anything yet, and that minimum 15-page paper is due Monday, April 15th, and so that's a week away. I've been doing a shit ton of research and preparing for that, but I've basically had to kind of just my original plans for how this dissertation and everything was going to play out have radically changed. Instead of writing my second chapter and then writing the first chapter, I'm now focusing just on my first chapter. So yeah, moving abroad, preparing to present at this conference, preparing like basically a rough draft of my first chapter and radically changing my plans and trying to make progress on my dissertation. And I'm like scanning like a demon at the library, trying to scan as many books and resources as I can before I leave the country. It's just nuts. And then my partner, he's teaching full-time. He's preparing a grant application. It's crazy. But in good news, officially I can say, because he signed the contract and mailed the contract down to Chile, but officially I can say that my partner has a postdoctorate position at a research group in one of the major universities in Chile, in Santiago, which is an excellent opportunity for him to be able to put that on his CV as like work and training experience, but also an opportunity for him to develop his research and maybe make some kind of international connections between like the US academic scene that he's been in for the past 9 years and the Chilean or South American academic scene. So that's exciting, and that also gives him a source of income. And also in good news, we already have an apartment waiting for us in Santiago. So basically, a friend of his, their family owns an apartment. This family that own and live in the apartment, they're moving back up to the US at the end of April, so they put up their apartment to be rented, and we're going to rent it. It's in a beautiful historic neighborhood in Santiago. The comuna, the like sector of Santiago is called Ñuñoa. If you're familiar with Santiago, it's really close. It's like within walking distance of the national football stadium. Football meaning soccer, right? In American terms. So we're really close to the national stadium, and the apartment is beautiful. It's exactly what we need. At least we're hoping. I mean, we haven't seen it in person, so it's kind of scary, like putting your name down on a lease and committing money to a place you haven't been to. But we sent my partner's brother and his wife there to check it out, and they took video and pictures up for us. And this woman seems like a person we can trust, and she's familiar with, our situation, because she's kind of in the similar situation. She's married to an American as well, and has had to deal with American immigration and all that, and it's just so good vibes. God, it feels so. It just gives me such relief knowing we already have a place to call home when we get there. So that way we can kind of minimize the amount of time we have to live in my mother-in-law's house, because I love her to death, but I'm the type of person, I need my personal space. And, I can live a few weeks in my mother-in-law's house or in my own parents' house, but after a few weeks I start to go stir crazy. And so even though we won't really be able to move directly into this apartment when we first get there, because we still have to buy furniture and all that kind of stuff, it's still good to know that we have a place to call our own. So things are falling in line. Things are going well, knock on wood, in that regard, in that part of my life that I'm dealing with. So that's the updates part as far as the move to Chile goes. And, things are starting to get real here in Georgia when it comes to slowly but surely kind of saying goodbye to this place that we're at right now and getting rid of stuff. That I'm looking at right now, a pile of boxes and kitchen, pots and pans that we never use that are going to be donated. Last month, or in February, we donated a bunch of winter clothes to a domestic violence program here. And, you know, every month we've been chipping away at this, but now things are getting real, things are accelerating, you know, like we're talking about closing bank accounts and closing, you know, or what are we going to do about the car and the car insurance and leaving the car with my parents and closing down our cell phone accounts and just all these things that you, like once they're set up, you kind of take them for granted. Like, of course I have a cell phone plan, but wait a minute, you know, I'm moving abroad, I'm gonna have to buy a cell phone down there because I'm not paying for an international plan, and that means, like, you know, all these little things like shutting down the Netflix and the Amazon Prime and all this stuff. It's just like, whew, it really, one day at a time. One day at a time. Since I have to write 15 pages this week, this is what my bullet journal looks like, and I have my writing goals here. I'm hoping to write between 750 and 1,000 words a day, and that's roughly double space times New Roman 12-point font, 1-inch margins. That's going to be roughly between 3 to 3.5 or 4 pages a day. So I'm in the middle of like a writing marathon, and so yeah, if I don't sit down and make this video now, it's just not gonna happen. And also, tomorrow is my partner's birthday. He turns 36 tomorrow, April 9th. My super sexy Aries man. But yeah, so things are kind of insane. And what has gotten me through this has been, of course, tarot and the oracle. I've been working with the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. And that has to do with my current reading, which I'll get to in a second after I talk about the giveaway. And I'll get to the giveaway soon, I promise. I told you this was going to be a rambly video, but I've been working specifically with this deck because it's such an excellent deck for working with subconscious, like connecting to the subconscious, connecting to your inner darkness, right? And this is the book I'm reading. That has a lot to do with that. And this past weekend I got this card, which is the Three of Pentacles, which is probably my favorite representation of the Three of Pentacles ever, and the key word is foundation, but look at that. It's pretty on the nose when it comes to all of this writing that I have to do this week and all the academic work that I have to do from here on out. Before we leave the US. So that has been just like, you know, foundation. Remember your spiritual foundations, your foundations in self-care. Remember your body and taking care of your body through the stress. Like, don't neglect the body. I think one of the first things, like my bad habit, I guess, or a tendency I have is when I have a lot of pressure to produce, like a lot of academic work in a short amount of time. One of the first things I drop is like self-care, especially, you know, going to the gym or doing yoga regularly. It's like the first thing I give up because I think like I don't have time for that. And then later on my body kicks my ass for it. You know, my sciatic pain starts kicking back in, and my tightness and pain on my right shoulder and arm and hand starts coming back, and my body is just screaming at me like, bitch, remember me. Like, you do have time for me. Go to the gym, stretch, go to your yoga class, because if not, I'm going to keep falling apart. So this has been like a really great reminder of that, of those foundations that are going to get you through the intense frenzy of everything, of work. And then from the Rumi Oracle, which I would say is another excellent deck to work with your inner darkness, your shadow, your subconscious, your dreams, right? From the Rumi Oracle this week I pulled the Commitment card, which is number 31, and I'm 31 right now, which is interesting. And I actually wrote down in my bullet journal for this week, my work bullet journal, quote from the guidebook, because it just like spoke so clearly to me. Don't let fear that your desire won't manifest cause you to try to bend life to your will. It is an unnecessary battle. Instead, just show up. Be present. Attend to what is before you in each moment and trust yourself. Holy crap, like if that is not such a succinct quote and so pertinent, I don't know what is. It's just, it was such a nice little synchronicity and reminder from the universe for me to kind of slow down sometimes, release this over-attachment to control and perfectionism that I tend to have, especially when it comes to my writing, and just let things just every day show up, do the work that you have for that day, and then do self-care like a motherfucker. Like taking baths, going to the gym, doing yoga, learning how to unplug in the evening. Like after we have dinner in the evening, no more work. Like trying to stick to that kind of self-care regime or regimen around has been getting me through this so far, and I just need to stick to it. Don't bend life to your will, just show up. Be present. Attend to what is immediately before you. Don't think of everything you have to do all at once, because I make that mistake often. I think that's a pretty common mistake too. You see this long ass to-do list. Like we have on Google Docs, I shared a Google Doc with my partner and I so we can both see it and updated it. So we have this long ass to-do list of every little thing we have to do between now and flying to Chile. And we're flying to Chile on the solstice, by the way, in June, which is so witchy and like going from one hemisphere to the other, going from the peak of summer to the depths of winter in the southern hemisphere. It's just so poetic. But anyway, totally did that on purpose, by the way. But like seeing that to-do list all at once, like it's so triggering and so overwhelming. And so it's been really important in that quote from the guidebook of the Rumi Oracle, just like, reminded me, just attend to what is before you in this moment. Don't think of everything all at once, otherwise you're not going to get through this. You know? So those are my life updates. Yeah. So let's talk about a giveaway, because that seems less stressful. So the giveaway, we're 18 minutes in. So those of you who have stuck through this, you deserve to know about this giveaway, right? So earlier this year, in January or maybe February, my channel reached 1,000 subscribers. I think I have just a little over 1,000 right now. Thank you all so much. Thank you to all the people who have supported me and showed up regularly for my videos, who have sent me messages, just connecting with me. It's just been like, I'll go in more into detail about that when I actually make the giveaway official. This is just right here, right now. I'm not going to give specifics about the giveaway, but I will be next week after I turn in this 15-page paper that I have to start writing today. After that is done and sent in, I'll put up an actual like official giveaway guidelines kind of video. But here are just some of my thoughts of what I thought I could do for this giveaway as a way to give back in thanks. It's a gratitude oriented giveaway. It's a way for me to show my gratitude for everybody who has subscribed, but especially for those people who regularly watch and interact with my content and appreciate my content and let me know that they appreciate my content. So I'm thinking of making this giveaway a 4-part giveaway, in the sense that one lucky winner will receive a care package from me. And this care package, if you see behind me, I have a shelf right here with all sorts of little witchy knickknacks and doodads and tools on it. That care package is going to be comprised of things that come from my personal witchy collection that I'm going to pass on to the winner. And that includes, well, let me get it. So that's going to include this wand that I got at the Why Not's wand shop in Salem, Massachusetts, which I've mentioned before. I got this wand for myself, but then I found myself never using it, and so I think for such a beautiful wand, and it's from Salem, you know, it's from a witchy wand shop in Salem, Massachusetts, so I think somebody would really appreciate something like this. So it's going to be stuff like that, crystals that I'm passing on, herbs. If you see this part of the shelf here on the first shelf, those are jars just full of organic dried herbs that I use regularly, but since I'm moving abroad, I'm not going to take them with me, so I figured I could pass this along. So you're going to help me prepare to move abroad by giving a home to some of my witchy herbs, crystals, this wand, that kind of stuff. So that is going to be, and I'll make sure everything is like, I'm not going to give you dirty, like used, falling apart stuff, don't worry. It's going to be good quality stuff. So that's going to be part one of the giveaway. And then I'm also going to be offering, I'm still trying to figure out how this is going to work, but I would like to give away 3 free 20 to 30 minute tarot card readings. And I still have to figure out the kinks of this, but I have a lot of tarot spreads. Let me get my book of tarot spreads out here. Now this thing isn't full by any means. I'm slowly putting this together, but I just got this cheap composition notebook. I separated it into different sections, and I have different spreads that I've developed over time in here. Let me flip to one. Like this is my shadow work spread, for example. It's a 9-card spread, and then I have the positions here, So I've been working with the tarot for going on 5 years, I think. And I work with it daily. It's a joy and a passion of mine. I know that it has been a game changer for me in terms of like exploring myself and celebrating myself and healing myself, and I know it's such a powerful tool. And so I've thought for a long time about possibly, I don't know, starting a Patreon or starting a part-time kind of tarot reading business, just as a way to give back and to use my talents for good, because I'm into academia. I have been given access to a lot of really interesting and really important knowledge, but also the teacher archetype is something that I hold very close to me. It's something I love teaching. It's hard, it's difficult, it's really hard to be a good teacher, but I feel like I am a good teacher. At least my student evaluations have told me that I'm a good teacher when I was teaching at the university as an assistant. But I feel like I could be a conduit for knowledge and teaching through the cards. But the problem is time and also experience. And I know one way to gain experience is to offer free readings and get feedback from people. And now, when I'm talking about like possibly starting some sort of Patreon or having a part-time tarot business, it would be very part-time, and it would be like just a limited number of clients, because academia is my full-time job. I plan on being an academic. You never know what life is going to throw at you, right? But, for now, like, I foresee myself producing research and teaching and being a professor. So that is my full-time job. But I feel like with my just talents, my passions, the knowledge that I've been given access to, that reading tarot would be a way for me to give back and to feed my soul spiritually while also helping to feed the souls of others, maybe? I don't know. But this is 2, 3, maybe even 4 years down the road, right? But I wanted to kind of also push myself to get a little bit outside my comfort zone. And so that's why I think I'm going to offer these 3 readings. And also, 3 readings, that number is important because I was thinking of a way to get the readings to the giveaway winners. And I really like how Rose at the Cackling Moon, if you're familiar with that channel, if not, I'll link her channel below. But I really like how she does her readings. She is a professional tarot reader. I would say her reading style is different and her approach is different from mine. But what I really like is that all of her clients' readings she publishes or puts up as videos on her YouTube channel so anyone can read or watch them, but she keeps a lot of the information confidential. Like, of course, her clients send her a private email and they talk about the situation that she's going to be reading for and all that. And so in the public video, she doesn't go into any detail. She doesn't mention the gender or the names of the clients or like that kind of stuff. So things are still very private, but it's just been fascinating for me to just watch her give readings to other people and to see that kind of style. And it would also be very convenient for me, so that way I don't have to figure out how to like create a secret video or make a secondary YouTube channel. I mean, maybe down the road if I do go into this part-time and I do develop like a base of clients and stuff, I would do something like that. But right now, I like I was saying at the beginning of this video, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. So I was thinking, well, first of all, if you made it this far, 27 minutes into this rambly video, I told you it was going to be rambly though, but if you made it this far, if you're like a loyal follower of mine, and if you would be interested in putting your name into the hat to potentially win a free reading from me, you know, put your name into the hat to have a chance at the drawing. Let me know in the comments to this video that you would be interested in that and that you would be interested in maybe giving me feedback and that kind of stuff. But my thoughts are to have 3 winners and privately through email I will let the winners know. I will assign them like 1, 2, or 3 or A, B, and C randomly, and then I would just publish the video on my channel here and say like, you know, giveaway tarot reading for A. And that would be it. And so that way all of your information would still be kept confidential. No one would know like whose reading was assigned to who. Like, things would be kept private and confidential. Of course, in the reading I wouldn't give away any specifics about the situation or whatever. And also in terms of the reading, I would offer the winners, the giveaway winners, a choice to pick one spread out of a choice of like 5 or 6 different spreads that I've developed. 3 of those options would definitely be my perfectionism, procrastination, or imposter syndrome spread, which a few weeks ago, I shared those spreads on my StudentWitch Instagram. And especially the imposter syndrome spread seems to resonate with people. Each of those are 6 card spreads, and they're specifically or especially helpful for people dealing with imposter syndrome, perfectionism, and procrastination, which I deal with as I'm trying to make progress on my academic work, right? So those would be 3 of the options, and then I'll pick from my different tarot spreads here other options that I think would be helpful or useful to people. And so if you're the lucky winner, you know, if I pull your name out of the hat, then I would give you an option to pick one of the spreads, and then I would assign you the number or the letter to keep your privacy, and then within a week or two after the drawing, and contacting and organizing all this with people, I would publish the 20 to 30 minute reading on my channel. And then privately you can give me feedback, or, and other people too can give feedback, I guess, in the comments section of these sorts of videos, which would be interesting and definitely a growing experience for me to get out of that comfort zone and to, I mean, I've given readings to friends before, but I really want to, I want to explore this. And also this is a way for me to like give back, like I was saying, and give thanks for reaching 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you would be interested in that, let me know. Comment to this video below and keep an eye out, because I will make the official giveaway announcement video and put that up within a week or two. So sometime after April 15th, I just gotta write this paper first. I gotta get through this part first. So yeah, so those are my thoughts for the giveaway. So like a care package and then 3 readings. I think that would be a very generous way for me to give back to this community. So yeah, so speaking of those procrastination, perfectionism, and imposter syndrome tarot spreads, I am actually going to make, I'm thinking about making a 2-part video for my Witching Through Grad School series. Specifically about perfectionism, procrastination, and imposter syndrome, because, oh man, those have been flaring up for me within the last 8 to 9 months. I've had to do some major intense shadow work, especially from like September through December last year was just intense. I was deep down in the belly of the caves of the shadow, working through some of that shit. And so now that I'm finally starting to get to the other side of that, I feel like I'm more prepared to talk about that on my channel. So like I said, that will be part of my Witching Through Grad School series. So I will be talking a lot about grad school and how those issues pop up and are very common in grad school. But of course, I think a lot of people could benefit from a discussion about those kind of issues. So I think I'm going to make a video talking about those issues, and then I'm going to post a video explaining the spreads on my channel, or I might make like 3 very short, like 3 5-minute long videos for each of those spreads, like an explanation and giving the card positions for the perfectionism spread, and then one for the procrastination spread, and then one for the imposter syndrome spread, because I want those out into the world because I think so many people could benefit from them. And if you're interested in the giveaway and you think that maybe you could benefit from one of those spreads, you could check out those videos before I do the drawing of the giveaway, because I'm thinking of, let's say, sometime around, I don't know, April 20th, I post the official giveaway video, and then I would give it a whole month until May 20th before the drawing happens, just so that everybody has enough time to decide if they want to participate or not, and decide if, how all that's going to work. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for those videos about Witching Through Grad School, but also the spread explanation videos, because those are coming out. And talking more generally about content, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, I'm going through a major life change right now. I'm incredibly busy, and even though I have like this whole list of content that I would love to have the time to make, I just don't. I'm beginning to like face the reality that like I have to prioritize certain things in my life, and of course my academic work and moving abroad take top priority for me right now, and self-care. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to slow down my production of content on, especially on the StudentWitch YouTube channel here, which I think is pretty understandable. Anybody else in my position would do the same, but I just wanted to forewarn you guys that basically from like April until July or August, things are gonna be crazy for me because I have to move out of our apartment. I have to clear out, and we have to move out of our apartment in Georgia. At the end of May, we're gonna drive up to my parents' house in Kentucky, leave some of our major furniture. Like, we're getting rid of probably 80% of our possessions. But some pieces of furniture, like our mattress and our couch and our really nice big ass table that we use back in the office as our desk, we're keeping those. We're gonna leave those in my parents' house in their basement in Kentucky. We're gonna be in Kentucky for the first 2 weeks of June. Then we're driving from Kentucky down to Louisiana to New Orleans, which is an 11-hour drive, to see my sister. And also we're flying out of New Orleans to go to Chile. We're going from New Orleans to Houston, I think, or Dallas. I can't remember. I think it's Houston. One of those two airports in Texas. And then from there, we're flying directly to Santiago. It's like a 9.5-hour flight. And it's overnight. And I suck at flying on airplanes and in cars. I just can't fall asleep in moving vehicles. I'm nearly 6 feet tall. I know you guys always see me sitting down and you only see me from here up, but I'm nearly 6 feet tall, and just being on an airplane or in a car, I just can't get comfortable. So it's like a 9-hour overnight flight that I will not be sleeping on, and then I'm arriving in Santiago on June 22nd. I think it's the 22nd. It's just gonna be nuts. And then after that, I'll be living for at least 2 or 3 weeks probably at my mother-in-law's house and setting up our apartment. So yeah, so unfortunately, I think from in April and into May, I might be able to publish like 2 or 3 videos, but then June, July, and August, it's gonna be like, I don't even know. I can't make any guarantees at this point. So just to let you guys know, and then I'm hoping that by August or September at the latest, I'll be able to, like, you know, be back in full swing again, you know, making 3 or 4 videos a month and all that jazz. That also means once I shut down my US cell phone, I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get cell phone plans and phones down in Santiago, but that also means that for a bit, you know, I won't be very present on Instagram. I mean, I could check Instagram and stuff on my laptop, but, you know, it just is what it is. So, yeah, just so you guys have the heads up. But a few videos that I for sure want to make are, of course, the Witching Through Grad School, talking about procrastination, imposter syndrome, and that kind of stuff, and the spread explanation videos. Those are really important to me. Another video that I would like to make that's really important to me is a book review of this book, Pregnant Darkness, Alchemy and the Rebirth of Consciousness by Monica Wickman. And I'm like 2/3 of the way through, although a lot of this is notes and bibliography in the back. Let me see how much I really got. I have a chapter and a half left. I have this much left in this book, and holy crap, it's speaking to me. So I'm really excited. And also, when I posted my mini little book haul on Instagram a few weeks ago, this is one of the books I showed, and some people expressed some interest in my review of this book, and so I've been working through it. This book fell into my lap at such a perfect time, such an important time. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So once I'm finally done with this, I'll put up a review probably in late April or early May. And then another book I'm reading right now that I would like to get done before the big move happens and everything, and kind of in relation to Pregnant Darkness, is The Psychedelic Explorer's Guide by James Fadiman. And I feel like these two books make a nice little book marriage together. They'll be nice to read together. And so yeah, that's also why I've been working with the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea, because I've been doing a lot of dream work and making more of a conscious choice to connect with my darkness. And so this deck is just so symbolic and trippy and just so, it just helps me to just quickly and easily connect with those shadow realms, those dreamscapes and the subconscious and the mind. It's just so great. So yeah, that's been really helpful, but I will get into more details about my experiences and actually some really important, like, intense dream experiences that I've had since reading this book, and like dream experiences that were inspired by this book. Like, that's how important this book has been for me. So I do want to make that video, especially since it was requested, and possibly talk about the Psychedelic Explorer's Guide as well and my impressions of that. And yeah, I think that's that, and the giveaways, the content you can look forward from me in the coming month and a half, maybe even 2 months until the end of May. So yeah, this has been incredibly rambly, but this is my updates video, y'all. Lots of things happening, lots of big, important, scary, but good things are happening. So yeah, if you're interested, and if you have any feedback or ideas for me as far as how to go about that tarot reading giveaway, let me know, and comment with your thoughts below, and the next time you see me will be the official giveaway announcement. So until then, many blessings and happy witching. Bye.